What's up, everybody? It's Adrian. And now, can you believe we're already 4 weeks in, 25% or a quarter of the way through the NFL season thus far? Now, time has flown by. So, with that being said, every 4 weeks, I will be giving you guys an updated list of the top teams in the league, starting with 10. And every 4 weeks, I will be updating that, so it can change drastically within that time frame because the season is such a long season. But with that being said, let's get it started off, and I will get started with the number 10 team on my list, and that is the Cincinnati Bengals. This is as big a surprise to me as anybody. They started off 3-1 with wins on the road against the Colts. They beat a good Ravens team. Now, they did take a loss on the road to Carolina, but hey, Carolina's a good team this year, and they just beat Atlanta Falcons on the road in Atlanta in last second. AJ Green has been balling as usual, the number one threat. Now, the big surprise has been the number 2 receiver making a big emergence is Tyler Boyd in his 3rd year out of Pittsburgh. Andy Dalton, the Red Rocket, as we like to call it, has been playing well too. He's thrown a lot of picks, but Cincinnati is showing that they're a good regular season team. Now, the problem is that Cincinnati cannot win a playoff game. Marvin Lewis is in his 16th year, and thus far is 0-7. Now, I had a hard time, and I decided to go with Cincinnati over other teams such as Minnesota. But, let's see if Cincinnati can continue this in the regular season. Now, if they make the playoffs, when we get there, we can talk about that. But then I don't trust them. But as far as the regular season, they have been balling thus far. And let's see what they continue to aim to do through the rest of this season. Now, they're talented on both sides, defensively too, with Geno Atkins and Carlos Dunlap. So that's my number 10 team. My number 9 team is the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Now, they're starting off 2-2. Now, they just got Carson Wentz back after 2 games, so I'm going to give them a little bit of pass on that. They got to shake the rust off. They're 1-1 in his starts. I know they beat the Colts the last second on the drive, and last week they lost in overtime, but that wasn't their fault. I'm going to blame the defense. Now, they've been struggling a little bit in the secondary, but they're still ranking number 1 in rush defense as well. Give Carson Wentz time to shake the rust off. He'll start coming into MVP form, and I think the Philadelphia Eagles will get it back on track. Now, this is what happens when you boast and brag like the city of Philadelphia does. I don't think their mindset is still jacked up. I still think they have a Super Bowl hangover. Like Malcolm Jenkins said, you got to not worry about that. But they've got a lot of big personalities on that team, but they need to bounce back and get over these injuries. They're starting to get some of the receivers back, and I think the offense will get the clicking. Now, I still think they will win the NFC East, but they're off to a slow start. But the first month of September is a fill-out process. And with all the things they got going on, they will get it figured out. No doubt about that, and they will make a strong run. Now, let's go to my number 18, and that is the Carolina Panthers. Now, Cam Newton is one of my favorite players. But this year, with the addition of Norv Turner, he has improved his play tremendously. Now, Cam's career completion percentage is 58.7. This year, he's at a staggering 67.4. That's with the innovation of Norv Turner. He is a secret sauce to this recipe that's cooking. And as we all know, Carolina's leads the league in rushing as a team. With that running ability of Cam Newton, nobody wants to tackle him. They also got Christian McCaffrey back for his 2nd year, and he's having a standout year as Carolina will continue to push for a playoff spot in that tough NFC South. But don't count them out. I know their pass defense has struggled a little bit, but the defensive line is still one of the best in the league. Still got Quan Short. Still got Julius Peppers, who seems like he never gets old. And they also got the best linebacker in football. No questions asked. Don't ask me about it. And Luke Kuechly. And they still have Thomas Davis as well, who's coming back from his 4-game suspension, actually. But Carolina will continue to make some plays, and let's see if Cam can keep this up, But I'm keeping them at 8 right now. Now, at number 7, we're going to go with the team who I didn't see this coming, and that's the Chicago Bears. Now, all I got to say is Khalil Mack. With the addition of Khalil Mack, they traded away 2 first-rounders to get him. But, hey, you ask me, he's the best defensive player in football, hands down. Now, if I was Oakland, that was the dumbest move on my part to trade a transcendent talent like Khalil Mack. We don't talk about a lot of star-studded defensive players in the league as much as we do because the NFL is more predicated on offense in this day and era. But Khalil Mack instantly is making a big impact from the first game where he came in on a very short rest as he sat out in a holdout, changed the game and almost beat the Packers single-handedly. He continued to go through double teams and go through blocks as well, getting strip sacks after strip sacks. Now, they would be undefeated if it wasn't for a miracle comeback by Aaron Rodgers, but this defense is elite. Now, they lead the NFL in sacks. That's why I have them at 7, because offensively, I just do not believe in Mitchell Trubisky. I'm going to say that again, and I continue to preach this on my Twitter page too as well. Trubisky is not the guy. I don't think he is. Now, they don't need him to do a lot. They need to make him 3, 4, 5 throws a game to get them in a prime position. Now, Matt Nagy is a great coach. He's a good innovator. He's learned from none other than Andy Reid. Now, can they make these things happen? We'll see. They're running like a college-style offense, but all he has to do is hand the ball off to Jordan Howard and get the ball to Tariq Cohen in some space, and they can get enough done on offense to where they continue to build up. Now, they have a good shot at winning this division, but their defense is legit, and if Trubisky and the offense can maintain, then the defense will carry them through the season. At number 6, gosh, I hate to say this because this is my least favorite team in the league, but it is the New England Patriots. Now, I know they finished the month of September at 2-2, but don't forget, you can never count out Bill Belichick and Tom Brady ever. September has always been a weird month for Belichick as he's trying to figure things out and figure his team out. But now, after these 4 games, Julian Edelman is finally back. And now with the addition of Josh Gordon, who's finally starting to get incorporated into the offense, we'll see. Everybody can drop down. Edelman can go back to number 1. And Gronk doesn't get his double teamed as much. And Tom Brady will be able to spread the ball out a little more. And I know he hasn't threw for 300 yards yet, but it's a big game coming. And they start week 5 off tonight, actually, on Thursday Night Football against the Colts, which I do see a good outcome for them. But New England's still in my mind, making the playoffs easily because of division, because New York Jets are terrible, Buffalo's terrible, both with rookie quarterbacks. And Miami, I don't trust them, even though they're 3-1, because they just came into New England and got throttled 38-0 easily. So can't never count the Patriots out. As long as they got Tom Brady and Bill Belichick, they will have something to say about who comes out this AFC, whether it's them, whether not. At number 5, we're going to go with the 3-1 New Orleans Saints. Now, they got Drew Brees, one of the most overrated players of all time. And, hey, also, don't forget, this is a guy that nobody talks about for whatever reason. He set an NFL record for most receptions through 3 games, and that's Michael Thomas. This guy doesn't talk trash. He just goes out there and plays and makes big impact after big impact and big plays. Now, I have him on my fantasy team, but I don't want to be biased, but the Saints are legit offensively. Kamara leads the NFL in scrimmage yards and scrimmage yards per game, so he's a beast. And now with the addition of Mark Ingram coming back from suspension, now they can finally have that 1-2 punch back that they had from last year. Now the defense has been a little suspect, but I was impressed, especially last week after going on the road and beating the Giants in New York. You know, I know they typically don't do good in back-to-back road games, but hey, they proved me wrong, and I think the defense is on the upward swing as they dominate that Giants game, and it wasn't even close. I still think they probably will win the NFC South, so we'll see how that goes. But that being said, we're going to go to number 4, and that is one of the biggest surprises to me of this year, and that is the 3-1 Baltimore Ravens. Now, Joe Flacco has been motivated since they drafted Lamar Jackson, the quarterback out of Louisville, in the 1st round. Now, they drafted 2 tight ends, very talented as well. Added some nice pieces, Crabtree, John Brown, Willie Snead, and the offense has looked invigorated. Now, the defense about the Baltimore, I've never been worried about. They got Tony Jefferson, Jimmy Smith's coming back from Achilles and a suspension injury. They still got T. Sizzle, Terrell Suggs, and now they just went into Pittsburgh and dominated my Pittsburgh Steelers. And Baltimore is the one team in the league I respect. But they are absolutely, in my mind, no doubt, a Super Bowl contender, a dark horse, because they're on a mission. John Harbaugh is coaching for his life. This is Ozzie Newsome's last year in Baltimore. So with that being said, they will continue to keep surprising teams and will be a tough out when they do make the playoffs. Now, at number 3, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars. Once again, it's defense, defense, defense. And we have the big mouth Jalen Ramsey, who continues to back it up and talking trash to all the guys in the league, from Odell Beckham. Now it's Tyreek Hill as they get ready for the Week 5, probably the biggest game of the season against the Kansas City Chiefs. The defense will continue to be good. Now, once again, can I trust Blake Bortles? He's kind of like a better version of Mitchell Trubisky. What I think is Mitchell Trubisky's probably ceiling. But Blake Bortles, he's had games where he's threw for 400 yards. He played good last week, but hey, it was against the Jets. They don't have Leonard Fournette. He's throwing to a bunch of random guys because he lost Allen Hurns. And he's throwing to D.D. Westbrook, Kiki, some guy I never heard of last week that I never seen. and he's also throwing to Keenan Cole. Hey, I don't trust Blake Bortles. Like I said, it's just even thinking about it makes my head hurt. The fact that Blake Bortles can get the job done, but like I said, all he's do is be decent. And Jaguars will continue to rise with that defense. Let's continue to see if he looks better, because he has looked a lot more comfortable this year. Number 2, we're going to go with the 4-0 Kansas City Chiefs. Now, Patrick Mahomes has been the biggest story in football this year, going 4-0, thus as far as taking over for Alex Smith. He's been a stud. He's been compared to Brett Favre. Now this season, he has 15 total touchdowns, 1 rushing and 14 passing with no picks. Now, what impressed me and what sold me on him was this past Monday night when they went to Denver and he made a comeback, outscored Denver in the fourth quarter and they scored 14 points and to get the W. Now, the only concern about the Chiefs is the defense. They have allowed the most total yards per game in the league. The offense is prolific, but the defense needs to pick it up a little bit. And the only thing, the beef I have with the Chiefs is if they get home field advantage in the playoffs in the AFC, then they can make a possible Super Bowl run. But until then, I don't believe in them, because as much as I love Andy Reid, he hasn't won a lot of big games, and it's been tough for him. Now, Chiefs have been notoriously known for starting off fast and finishing trash, like they did last year when they blew a big lead at home against the Titans. So we'll see what the Chiefs can do. They got to prove that to me. And number 1 team, I think it's not even close, is the Los Angeles Rams. Now, they lead the league in total offense per game. They have the best receiving core in the league with Cooper Kupp, Brandon Cooks, and Robert Woods. Now, they have star-studded running back. I think it's the second best running back in the league, Todd Gurley, and Jared Goff is amazing. I totally commend Sean McVay, who is a beast of a coach. Since he got there, the Rams have turned it around, and they've been probably the best offense I've seen in the last 5 to 10 years in the league, and I don't see anybody slowing them down. They are on a mission, and I think they probably will make the Super Bowl if they continue at this point. But hands down right now, they are the best team in the league. So with that said, that's my teams. It can change in 4 weeks. We'll see. You got comments on it? You know where to find me at. You can write on the comment below on my YouTube video. You know where you can find me at on Twitter at Keeping the Score. KEEPINTHESCORE. You can find me on there. So with that said, you can get at me later. Thanks.